How's it going, everybody? I am
Uh,
the Sword Master, and welcome to today's video. Today, we're doing another episode of the Desk Vibes podcast. Today, I'm joined with Deadly and Nate. These are some content creator friends of mine. We've been doing stuff for a minute, and but yeah. Anyways, I think I interrupted you. What did you say, Nate?
oh, you're good.
But so the reason why I'm doing this podcast is because I know you guys, but I don't know you. If that makes any sense.
Same.
Makes sense.
So, um, Nate, what what would you say was kind of like the inspiration for you to do your like your Twitch and your YouTube stuff? The same goes for you, Deadly.
I'll let Nick go first.
Oh. I don't. I don't really remember, honestly. So like I've been off and on Twitch for a long time. I actually had an account years ago. Like shortly after Twitch became Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Prior it had been Justin TV, and had an account called AirMU, which is banned on Twitch. Because I did things on stream on accident that were not supposed to be live streamed.
Are
But I think
you are you saying that you
That
did
sounds-
some really weird activity that I don't need to be describing at the moment?
So I was engaged at one point,
Oh.
and I streamed from my bedroom, and I forgot that I left my stream on one night.
Oh no!
Oh,
And that's
no.
where.
Oh no!
So yeah, nothing was seen, but things were heard. It was like dark enough, and like it was on a laptop, so like laptop quality cameras, especially back then, you couldn't see
yeah.
anything,
Mhm.
thankfully. But it was heard, and I woke up the next morning with a bunch of messages from friends, and my Twitch account banned. That was maybe
Unfortunate.
2013, 2014, something like that is when that happened.
Oh Jesus,
But I
that
think-
was years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
no.
Or no, it was probably before then. I can't remember. It's been a long time.
Jesus
But yeah, I
fucking
think
Christ,
at the
dude.
time, the reason I got into streaming, I think, was because of RuneScape.
Ah.
So I used to play a lot of RuneScape. I still play from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
But like, the thing with like RuneScape compared to like the games that I play now, like Call of Duty, is that RuneScape for the most part is pretty casual. Like you can really have conversations with people in chat and like really build a community. And it's just one of those games that's like it's one of the few games you can also like actively play the game while watching somebody stream it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can play Call of Duty while watching somebody stream it, but like not very actively. Like you're not gonna be able to, clutch a 1v4 in search and destroy while like watching like Hemi or Wildcat or Larry stream on
Mhm.
Twitch. That's just not gonna happen. But you can actively just like be doing something on RuneScape and like having multiple RuneScape streams open and paying attention. And I don't know. As somebody with ADHD that has to be multitasking, I think
Yeah.
that really interested me, and then the community aspect of it really interested me. Especially
Yeah.
coming from like I live in a small town, so like making friends here was always really hard because everybody here is just different from me.
Mm-hmm. So how about you, Deadly? What made you want to get in content creation? Who? Yeah, you could give like specifics, like who or like what kind of inspired you to do it. So.
So it was third grade. I had at this point I had no clue what the internet was because I was a sheltered child. I didn't know what a phone was besides a flip phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Third grade, I see my sister on her phone because my sisters were privileged. Fuck you. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
my sister, she was watching Markiplier play Prey. And I saw it and I was like, oh my God, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I saw that my sister was laughing a lot. I was like, bruh, I love making people laugh. Maybe I should do this when I get older. So a few years later, I get my own Xbox and I find out there's this thing called Mixer, which is no longer around. I've tried going back to it and I think they closed down the site altogether. But I used to stream on Mixer every single day, just playing like Fortnite or Minecraft or whatever, and only have like one or two people show up. but I made jokes that were funny enough to make everybody in the chat laugh, and that was one of the real reasons why I wanted to do it. Because I love making people laugh, and playing video games and streaming it was one of the ways that I could help make people laugh. That was the real reason that I started streaming, is so I could make people laugh.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays it's like it's so much easier for people to get into like content creation because like the atmosphere is like huge. So like as a good example, when I first met Nate, me and him, like we met each other through Himmy because Himmy was doing the viewer games, and before I found out who Himmy was, I was watching like PewDiePie, Markiplier, and everybody else when they were still like doing active streams and stuff like that. Which forgive me, my fucking camera broke again. Some fucking bullshit. And and like whenever I first started
Maybe you
doing
just
it,
have a voice for podcast, man.
honestly, I have a face for radio, so. But but yeah, like I feel like with content creation nowadays, it's sort of like, it's kind of like a fake it till you make it type of deal. Cause when I first got started, it was 2019. I just started the YouTube channel and it only had like 3 subs, but it was because of like people who wanted to like just say, hey, you have my support. But like it never really went anywhere until about, I would say, mid 2020 to late 2020 when I started connecting more with people. And this was at the time where it was at the peak of the pandemic. It was Among Us season. Like back in the day when you would just be able to deafen and then you would go around and play with people. And like afterwards when I started to see that like my community started growing was when I finally started to realize like, oh shit, like maybe this could actually go somewhere. But I still try to balance it out between like my IRL life and like me working and then doing this as sort of like a side hustle for now. But I guess my next question would be, who was the first YouTuber y'all started watching?
The very first YouTuber I started watching was Captain Sparkles. He was playing Minecraft.
That's an oldie right
And
there.
yes, sir. And the very first season of Minecraft I ever watched in my life was Trollcraft, when
Mm,
him, Sunday, and Craner were all playing against each other in a multiplayer server, which they've been teasing at Trollcraft Season 2 ever since they ended it, which was like 4 or 5, maybe 6 years ago, and they haven't done it yet. They're probably not going to. But
mm-hmm.
Captain Sparkles was like one of the main YouTubers I watched back in the day, and I still watch him to this day. I'm watching him play modded survival on YouTube, actually. It's really funny because he keeps dying a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the very first YouTuber I watched. I actually have to say the very first Minecraft YouTube video I watched him play was Drunk Minecraft with Markiplier, Bob, and
Oh,
Wade, and Captain Sparkles. Anyway, yeah, that was
golly.
first. Yeah,
I totally forgot about Drunk Minecraft. Yeah, like I remember watching that a bunch too. How about you, Nate? Who was your first ever YouTuber you started watching?
All right, so this is gonna date me.
All right.
So I've been around for a while, so I don't remember my first YouTuber. It's uh, I I was I've been alive since well before YouTube was a thing. So
Mm-hmm.
um, so I grew up with people like Rhett and Link,
Okay.
Smosh, like classic Smosh, Ray
Yeah.
William Johnson, um, Philip DeFranco,
Mm-hmm.
Niga Higa, people like that. Like, I mean, I started watching YouTube. I'm 31, so
Okay.
like, yeah, like I've seen YouTube completely change throughout the years. So, yeah, I couldn't tell you who my first was, and I couldn't tell you like really when I got into YouTube. Because back then YouTube was just kind of like a goofy place. You'd spend a little bit of time, but like now with YouTube, like you spend hours and hours and hours watching YouTube.
Yeah.
Back then you would just get on, watch a funny video, and you know laugh a little bit, and then hop off, play a game with friends or whatever. And now
Mm-hmm.
it's like that's like your main source of entertainment for a lot of people.
Yeah, when I first got into YouTube, I think my first ever channel that I started watching was Smosh and PewDiePie. Like this was when PewDiePie had like 250K subs or something like that. It was also Angry Video Game Nerd for anybody who even knows that channel. The Cinemassacre channel with Mike Matei, James Rolfe, and everyone else. And then not a lot of people know, but does anybody remember like the old Super Mario YouTube hoops and like the SpongeBob YouTube hoops?
I've never even heard of that. I'm gonna be 100 with you.
I think Nate is probably going to be the only one who knows what I'm talking about.
I do not know who that is.
Okay, so I'm 22. When I first got into YouTube, I think it was like 2010. So this was when like YouTube was still like developing and all that stuff. But like I don't think I ever got into Mark until he started doing like the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. Because like I was around that scene, but like I knew who Markiplier was whenever they were playing like Gmod and like Drunk Minecraft with Bob and Wade and everyone else. And it's um it's actually funny to see how like the reason why I play scary games was because Mark was playing like Until Dawn, Five Nights at Freddy's, like some of the Five Nights at Freddy's fan games. And then at one point when Super Mario Maker was around, which was when I got introduced to Jacksepticeye, but I started watching it before, but I didn't have a channel that I like had connected to an email because I was young. My parents were very much, mostly my dad and my stepmom. They were very much like, no, you can't be watching YouTube because one day, and I remember this very vividly. I was at home. I just got done doing some homework, and I was watching Smosh's like, "My girlfriend did this," or um, like "This is my girlfriend," or whatever. And then my dad like looks and watches the YouTube video. It's like, "Why are you watching some dude's girlfriend cheat on him with this other dude?" It's like, "Cause it's funny." Like, you can't judge me for, you know, watching like a video that's basically a skit. Like you watch like Dave Chappelle and everyone else do their stuff. Like, what is that different from this? Uh
Side note: I just love Dave Chappelle. He's funny as hell.
Honestly, dude, Dave Chappelle is way too good for.
He's like goat of comedy. Aside from Fluffy, him and Fluffy, they're too damn funny.
Well,
Really,
you gotta
Gabriel
include.
Iglesias.
Well, what
Yeah,
about
Gabriel
like Martin
Iglesias.
Lawrence, Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, dude, no. Fucking hold on. I can't think of his name. Carlin. Fucking George Carlin.
Oh, George Carlin. I've seen
Yeah,
a
dude.
couple of his stuff, but like I haven't really watched it fully.
Dude
I,
is
I saw the Windows cog swirling.
no George. I would probably agree that like Dave Chappelle is problematic to say the least. He has a lot of opinions I do not agree with.
Mhm.
But I would say arguably probably still one of the best stand-up comedians of all time though.
Oh yeah, 100%. I guess my next question is, what was the first game that y'all started playing?
Oh boy. Nate, you want to go first on this one?
First game
Yeah,
or
like the very first game, like the moment that
uh
you touched a controller, mouse and
dude,
keyboard.
probably Tetris on the Game Boy.
Tetris? Oh.
Yeah, man. Like when I was a kid, like we didn't really have um I mean like I started gaming before like PlayStation came out. So like
Hmm.
I grew up with like Game Boys, I think were the first thing that I had, the first like real console I had. So like I remember playing Tetris, and then some other games. I can't remember a lot of the games that we had back then. We didn't have many. But
Yeah.
like I remember Tetris. It could have been one of my Sega games. I don't remember. I remember having a Sega growing up, um, and playing Sonic the Hedgehog all the time.
Oh yeah.
Um, Vector Man, which a lot of people don't know, but it's a great game.
I played
Highly
Vector
recommend
Man
it.
and it's one of my
Vector
favorites.
Man's wonderful.
Hmm.
Um, so it was either like probably either like Sonic on Sega or Tetris on the Game Boy. I couldn't tell you which one came first. and it might have been something completely different. I'm old, all right. It's been a long time. I don't really remember. And there was like a period of time where gaming wasn't a part of my life. So like it's like kind of been I got back into gaming maybe 5-6 years ago. So there was like a good like my like late teens, early 20s, no video games for me. Or like very casual video games.
Yeah.
So like it never really became like a huge part of my life until much more recent.
Okay. Well, what about you, Deadly? What was the first game that you that like pretty much started you off?
So the very first game I remember playing, because I could have played beforehand, because the very first game I remember playing, I knew how to play it. I just don't remember anything before that point in my life. Was Super Mario All Stars on the Wii.
Oh, okay. Well, then my answer is going to be completely
This
different.
guy's an infant.
Dude. Okay, so my first game that I started playing was actually two separate consoles. So when I would go visit my mom on the weekends, I'd play Super Mario All Stars for the Super Nintendo. And then when I was with my dad, me and my dad would play this game called Crimson Skies for the Xbox. Like the OG.
Was it a playing game?
Yeah, the playing game, like the dogfight
Yeah,
shit.
I remember that. Yeah.
You mean the Xbox? It was just a black box with a green X on it.
Yeah, and like the bomb ass
Yeah, I
fucking
remember
startup
Crimson
game.
Skies. I remember renting Crimson Skies.
I think my
back
dad
when you could
owned
go
the
to
game.
a video rental store and rent video games.
Like
Just one of the
Blockbuster.
Best thing
Xboxes.
ever.
The Xboxes, it sounds like a jet engine taking off when it powers on.
Yeah.
A bulky ass controller.
And you know what's funny is that to this day, I would love to see them remaster the game because that game's been out for years, dude. Like I started playing that game when I was like 7.
It's one of those games that like I don't like. I loved playing it. I do not want to play it again because like I know unless it's like if it's a remaster, sure I'll do it. But like I don't want to play the original because there's no way like that game can live up to what it was in my head at the time when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because like as a kid you're playing it and it's like the most realistic thing ever. Like if you go back and play those games you haven't played in like 10, 15, 20 years and you're just like, what is this pixelated shit? Like there's no resolution here, like nothing looks even close to real. It's not
There's
what
no
I remember
ray
at all.
tracing.
But like in your memory, you're like, this is Top Gun. This is 4K. This is beautiful. This is real. And
yeah. Like during those days, like when I was young, like I remember like a lot of games over the years that I played, like Shaun White skateboarding, SSX Tricky for the PlayStation 2. And like there's like so many games that I played over the years, but between like all of those, the Super Mario All Stars for the Super Nintendo and Crimson Skies for the Xbox was like the games that like I truly love. Like I even still have like the Dr. Mario and Tetris Super Nintendo cartridge with me, as well as Super Mario World and Super Mario All Stars, because I have like this console where it's basically like a 3-port. You can put like Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, and original Nintendo, which at some point, because like I'm a very huge nerd whenever it comes to like collecting games that are like classics, I want to get like the OG Legend of Zelda game and just play through it.
I've never played any of the Zelda games.
They're actually very fun. I had fun playing on it. Well, my 3DS back when that was a big thing.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember I couldn't I could not walk down the street and not see a kid with a 3DS where I lived at.
Like even kids when I was like in elementary school, like some of them had like Super Mario 64 for their DS, and for years I've been asking for that along with Mario Hoops 3 on 3. There was also like another Zelda game that was on the DS even before like the 3DS came out. And then like I also have like new Super Mario Brothers for the DS. Like there's just so many that like I played during that era.
I wasn't
I
really like
remember.
a Nintendo kid growing up. Like the only Nintendo I really ever had was the Game Boys, and
Mhm.
that was mostly like just Pokemon. And I had a WrestleMania game, and I would
I
exclusively play
remember.
Stone Cold.
Mhm.
I remember one of the games. Like I know I said the Wii and like Mario Sports All Star, but after I figured out what a PlayStation was, because I had the Wii and then I had a PlayStation 2. My dad spent a lot of money on the PlayStation 2 because he had got it when it first came out.
Mhm.
And back then, my dad's actually the guy who got me hooked on Dragon Ball. So my dad had a Dragon Ball Z game that gave you the entire story all the way up until the Buu saga. And I remember that game being the best game I ever played in my life back when I was like 5.
Mhm.
And then I went back like when I was 10 and I went to go play it again. And I'm just like, oh my God, this game is awful. I
Yeah.
mean, like the graphics and everything, they were ahead of their time. Like it was a really fun, like visually good game, but the controls on it were so finicky. Like if you breathed on the toggle too hard, you lost the match. I mean,
Yeah, like for me, whenever I played like the Dragon Ball Z games for the PlayStation 2, mine was Budokai Tenkaichi 2, Budokai 3, and then I had the Dragon Ball Sagas, which apparently was like the worst Dragon Ball Z game that was out, but it was like I would say that the only thing that I have a problem with is that you have to use like the D-pad in order for you to aim like your key blast at somebody. And then there was Dragon Ball Infinite World, which is basically like Budokai 3. And then there was like a bunch more. Like,
then there was like Dragon Ball Fusions Unlimited or something like that, where you could do a fusion with anybody.
yeah, and then like
You could
some
you
people even modded like some of the games so that way you could do like the newer transformations from like Dragon Ball Super. And I'm just like,
yeah.
how in the fuck do you have the time to do that?
I think they made an Easter egg where if you fuse with Yamcha, you actually got weaker.
And they also did one with Hercule, I think, which was even funnier.
Yeah. Anytime somebody says his name, I'm just like, what?
Honestly, I don't understand what people were thinking at the time when they were doing like the movies and shit, and not having people be like, "I wonder what freaking Yamcha and Hercule would look like," and it just looks like Master Roshi.
Bruh. I
But
love Master Yoshi though. He's the goat.
he truly do be the goat.
He's like the
Uh,
best sensei ever because he's actually still alive.
yeah, the fact that he's lived for how long really says something.
400 plus years.
Jesus Christ.
That's how old Master Roshi is. It was said in the canon that he eats like this special leaf that gives him immortality as long as he keeps eating it.
Apparently, that's also in today's world edibles. So I guess my next question is, what was y'all's first ever cartoon or like TV show that y'all watched as a kid?
Dragon Ball Z, as I'm sure you could have guessed.
Nate?
Uh, I don't remember, but in honor of the recent passing of Kevin Conroy, uh, Batman the Animated Series.
True.
That's one of the first I can remember. So I
I
mean,
didn't know he died.
he died yesterday.
Yeah.
Damn.
Rest in peace to a
It
legend.
would have been November 11th.
Absolute. Rest in peace, King.
Yeah, the voice of Batman, dude. Yeah,
Oh, the voice of
that's
Frieza is dead too.
but yeah, that's got to be the first I can remember. It was either that or it's got to be that because it was before Pokemon. I don't know. It could have been something else. It could have been like Ninja Turtles or something. But I
I
was so
remember
young.
loving
I'm sure
Ninja
I don't
Turtles when
really
but
remember. But I know Batman the Animated Series came out. Let me see.
96?
I No, it was before that. I think it was like 93.
I think I saw like
92.
it was
It came out on
92?
September 5th, 1992.
Holy crap.
A few days after my
damn.
first birthday.
Damn.
So yeah, it was probably something like Batman because like my brother was really into Batman, and he's like 10 years older than me, so I'm sure he had me watching that with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I
But
was a
the
kid, my first ever show that I started watching was actually not SpongeBob. but it was Zoe 101 and Naruto.
Naruto, a man of
Zoe
culture, I
101.
see.
Oh man.
Like
Yeah.
I'm young, but I'm old enough to know a lot of shows. Like I remember watching like the OG Ninja
Looney Tunes
Turtles.
and stuff.
Oh yeah, well Looney Tunes and like Tom and Jerry and everything have been around forever.
Oh, I
Like
know they have, but they've updated the animation quality on everything and all that.
well, I
And I
watched.
remember growing up when it was just like 3 frames a second on the TV. I mean, like, geez, I talk about all these shows like I'm old, but I'm young, but I'm old at
How,
the same time.
dude? I remember watching like Beast Wars, which was one of the first like computer generated TV shows, like fully CGI TV shows.
Does
And
any
going like I remember thinking that show was so sick, and then now going back and watching it, it is like there's it's so like there's no textures to anything. Everything looks like chrome. There's no reflections because this is like early 90s. So this is like before like I'm pretty sure this is like shortly after Pixar first started doing like the first computer generated
like Toy
movies.
Story
Yeah.
and what's it
Yeah, like
called? Space Jam.
yeah, like that was well before Space Jam, yeah. But yeah, Toy Story was the first fully computer generated movie. And like Beast Wars was like shortly after, and it was on a much smaller budget on TV. And like it's crazy, like I don't understand how they were even able to make it on the computers at that time. Like they were putting in time, and like it would literally take them months to render out a single 20-minute episode, which is it's insane to think that that was like in my lifetime that computers have advanced that far.
Yeah, like when I first started watching like all those like movies, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit and like all those like computer generated ones, like at first I was like, wow, that's really freaking sick, and then I watched like today's generation of like movies and TV shows and all that stuff, and then I realized like, damn, like they really just don't have shit compared to like what we have now.
So Who Framed Roger Rabbit is not CGI.
It's not.
It is, yeah. There's no computer generated imagery. That was made in '88, I believe, is when that came out. That is
Mm,
all like animation cells and compositing. So basically, they would um, record on film the video, and then afterwards they would go back in, and people would draw like you would for just an animated show. They would draw out the frames for the animated characters, and they would composite in the the animated characters in with the actual footage,
mm-hmm.
which is insane, and it's a ton of work. But it's the same thing they did for Mary Poppins, like the old Mary Poppins with the Blue Jays.
Oh
It's the same
yeah,
thing.
that's right.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's insane. If you shout out to Corridor Digital, if you ever go, I would highly recommend checking out Corridor Digital, Corridor Crew on YouTube. They do crazy visual effects breakdowns for movies and TV shows, and it's crazy to see like all the work that they used to do.
I I guess the other CGI movie that I remember watching too was The Mask, which like talking about like
That
Jim
did have some
Carrey.
CGI. Yeah, that was later in the '90s. That was like when CGI was starting to come around.
I love that movie. Whenever I talk to anybody at school about it, they're just like, I've never heard of that movie. And it's like, come on, you're the same age as me. I can't be that old.
Oh, The Mask is a great movie.
Oh
I
yeah, hundred
loved it
percent.
so much.
That was Cameron Diaz is probably the first woman I was ever physically attracted to.
I think the first ever woman that I felt
Is that
physically
a Ginger
attracted
Spice?
to, Ginger Spice. I
Ginger
didn't.
Spice, man. Spice Girls, man.
I didn't watch the Spice Girls movie. Did I?
Dude, the Spice.
I'd never heard
You
of
would
that.
remember if you watched the Spice Girls movie. I can
can't
guarantee
remember
that.
which Spice Girl that I fell in love with first. But I do
Uh,
know
All of
that
them.
like when I first started watching like WWE, like Monday Night Raw and all that stuff,
Mhm.
Crystal was the first girl that I ever fell in love with.
I've
can't-
never once in
Nah,
my life
dude.
seen a WWE show.
Dude,
I've
you're
just
missing
never
out,
been.
man.
I've never been into it.
Dude, it's wrestling. Like,
I mean, it's all fake. So
It's not.
No,
That's the thing. So
it's
when
fake
I
like the
tell
acting wise, but like the actual physical of what they do, no, that shit's real. People have
what
actually
I
had to be in the hospital because of that shit.
oh yeah.
Well, I
So
believe that
what
much.
I
I know
like
that
to
much is real, but I'm just saying, like, it's all just a show. Like,
yeah, it is a show. Yeah, what
I think
the
that's the
best
one reason why I didn't like it. I'd rather watch like UFC, where everything in there it's either pick them up and throw them or die. I mean, like,
yeah.
Hmm.
And like I watch UFC. Like I like to watch UFC. It's not about that. Like in WWE, it's not about like the fight. Like honestly, a lot of the matches are like the least entertaining portion of the actual thing. But what I usually tell people is wrestling is fake. Wrestlers are real.
Hmm.
Like the amount like that like see a UFC fighter for instance will have a professional fighter will have like a match maybe once every 6 months. They train and train and train, and they have like one match that lasts, anywhere between a few seconds and about 20 minutes or shows. I don't know how long they usually go, but like professional wrestlers, yes, they usually only wrestle on TV once a week. These guys are wrestling like off TV about 4 days out of the week. So these guys are putting their bodies on the line like almost every day, are almost never home, barely getting any sleep, like just constantly on the road. And these guys are throwing themselves off of steel cages, through tables, getting hit with chairs, and like just destroying themselves for very little money. Most of them, like especially like the indie wrestlers,
Hmm.
they don't make any money, dude. And then even like like high end professional wrestlers, like you can't get health insurance as a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
So like they're doing all this and like if they don't have money, like they get screwed if they can't pay their medical bills. So there are people that
Hmm.
have been in the wrestling industry for years and years and years that have no money, even like famous ones. Like it's insane to me. But like, I highly recommend. Vice just came out with a YouTube series. I can't think of the name of it, but it's basically goes back to the old days of wrestling before like WWE was a thing, when it was all territories. Um, and like basically the way I split was like Memphis was like the big territory, and like
Hmm.
these dudes would have like actual brawls. People didn't like the audience didn't realize it was fake at the time. They didn't realize it was all just a play. So the audience would like physically rush the ring and try to assault like the heel or the bad guy, or like be waiting for him outside his car and like try to fight with him. And like they would start bar fights, and like these dudes like were gnarly. And like some of the guys in the industry, like if they saw one of the other wrestlers was trying to like bury them or like overshadow them in some way or trying to mess with them, they would like take it out on them in the ring. Like there's one guy that got his eye gouged out on purpose. Like it's nuts, man. The wrestling as a whole is insane and it's sick. Um, if you want to watch like a really cool show about it, highly recommend watching the show Heels. It's on Stars. Got Stephen Amell, aka Arrow, in it. Dude, sorry, I could talk all day about wrestling. I'm a fucking
No, no, no,
wrestling
no,
nerd. I
no.
love
You're
it,
all good. This is a long form type of deal. So you can literally go as
yeah.
long as you needed to.
dude. If you've never watched wrestling, I highly recommend just watching. Like, you don't even have to watch an actual wrestling match. Like, watch Heels or a movie about wrestling. It's really great. The
Yeah.
show called The Wrestler is really the movie called The Wrestler is really good. It was nominated for a bunch of Oscars. As Mickey Rourke in it.
And too bad freaking Leonardo DiCaprio didn't come home with an Emmy.
But yeah,
L.
I don't remember what were we talking about before wrestling. I lost
N-
track.
No, we were talking
So I think it was
about
like our
like
favorite cartoon, wasn't it?
yeah, favorite cartoon TV show.
Gotcha. Um, yeah, and somehow we got
Oh,
on topic of wrestling. But oh yeah, we were talking about girls. Uh, yeah, it was, and then you mentioned Crystal, and then yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But no, the correct answer was Lita. 1000% Lita.
I would have to go back and look at some of the old wrestling clips from like 2009 to like 2013. Because like
Yeah.
that was about the time that
Lita's
I
a
was
little bit
watching
before
it.
then.
I genuinely have never like seen an older woman like I saw in a movie and thought, she's pretty. Because like back in my mind, back in the day when I was younger, I was like, damn, she's old.
Dude, there are plenty of like older women that are like incredibly pretty.
Like,
Oh, I'm sure there are. It's just
what's
back
her
in the day,
name?
I was
Donald
just like,
Trump's wife.
Oh yeah, like when you were younger, yeah. I mean, obviously it wasn't like
when I was younger, I saw like Scarlett Johansson. I was like, she's aight. But I mean, like,
yeah,
Susie at school. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah. I mean,
now I'm just like, oh, Susie at
well,
school.
at least it's
Man,
not
she's
the
aight.
opposite.
But Scarlett Johansson.
No, at least it's not. At least it's not the opposite way around. At least they're not like, Scarlett Johansson. All right, but that 3-year-old Susie,
Bro,
Bro, holy shit.
bro, chill.
God damn, dude.
I'm just saying.
But Mrs. Hernando,
Oh,
But
my
no,
God.
an
man.
80-year-old at the nursing home.
Dude, now, if you want to know an older lady that's attractive, Kate Beckinsale. She's almost 50, and she is gorgeous.
Queen Elizabeth. Oh wait, sorry, I can't make those jokes.
God didn't save that queen.
Jennifer, I think Jennifer Lawrence right now is still my celebrity crush.
If we're going for celebrity crushes now, I have to say Ryan Reynolds.
True.
I mean, that's a given.
Oh yeah, 100%. I literally
Any man who doesn't like Ryan Reynolds is committing a cardinal sin, and they know it.
100%.
I don't even
That's
know.
a good question. What's that?
I guess if I had to go, my current celebrity crush would be I don't even know if you guys know who she is, but Deborah Ann Woll.
Never heard of her.
I've heard of her,
if
but
you
I
watched-
don't know.
Have you watched Daredevil?
That would be it.
Daredevil?
Yeah.
I've seen Daredevil. The old one?
No, like the show.
Oh, never seen the show. I saw the movie.
The actress that plays Karen Page in the show.
I would have to rewatch Daredevil in order to.
She is she's really cool, but she is a giant D&D nerd, and I am a D&D nerd. So.
I also play D&D.
I would love to get into it. I just don't know how.
It's literally just role playing.
I'm great at role playing. Ask my girl. Anyway.
I wish I could relate, but me and my girlfriend
I'm also great at role playing. Ask your mom.
Oh!
Damn!
God damn!
Someone called the fire department. My ass is on fire.
Yeah, D&D can be a little bit hard to get into. You gotta get a group of people, but it's a ton of fun. I highly recommend.
I know a group of people that are into it. I just don't know how to get into it.
Just ask them.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, can I come play D&D with you guys?
Hey, Sword, can I come play D&D with you?
Well, first I have to get more people to come down here where I'm at. Because like,
oh yeah, that's right. It's an in-person thing, isn't it?
No, you can play online.
Yeah, you can do it online.
Yeah, I was
how
doing
do you do that?
Online. There are tools you can use, and you do it.
Well, we can figure that out after the podcast, can't we? It's not really important.
It's literally this app called D&D Beyond, not sponsored, but like
I've heard of it.
It literally, you just set up your character stats on there, and then like you're good to go.
Yeah, and you can use like another program like Roll20 or something for like a map if you want a map, but you don't necessarily even have to have one. You can do it real simple with just a character sheet and your imagination.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my character the most broken motherfucker in the entire universe.
I will say it is more.
Can I seduce the door?
You can do pretty much whatever you want, whatever your DM allows in D&D. So it just depends on the game that you're playing. But yeah, I would say it is a little bit more immersive in person. And I would say it's still better in person, but it's still great online. I was doing a streamed game online for a while. We're gonna be picking it back up soon. But took a break from it for a little bit because I had to deal with some stuff. But that should be picking up soon, which is great. We've been playing. We've had like 20 or 30 sessions or something so far, and it's a ton of fun. And then I had a home game that I've not finished yet. We had been playing like weekly for like 2 years straight, and in the past like 9 months we haven't played. And I think it's because we're right at basically the end of the story, and like none of us really want it to end. Yeah.
So I guess my next question is now, what would you guys like to do outside of what your normal content is? Like, if you were to do literally anything that you would want to do, but you know that your community wouldn't like it, what would it be?
Hmm.
Oh. Um. Hmm.
Because, like, I know for
Probably,
myself, like, it would definitely be like Hearthstone or like Yu-Gi-Oh, but like actually playing with cards against somebody.
believe it or not, I would actually like want to stream chess. But I know like nobody on Twitch wants to watch me put a board down, sit in front of someone else, and play a game of chess. They want to
Chess
see
is
like
actually
Call of.
chess is really popular on Twitch, man.
Yeah, I was about
Oh,
to
is it?
say, like, it
Yeah, it
actually
is.
Is
has
it?
its own
I last
category on
time.
Twitch.
Like XQC plays chess, like Bloodblue plays chess. It's a big thing on Twitch, dude.
I had no idea. I've
Yeah,
always thought that people wanted to see the games I usually play, is like first person shooters, multiplayer games, like stuff like that. Like the popular game like Call of Duty, Minecraft, Fortnite. Uh
right now there are 4,500 people watching chess streams.
damn.
Okay, and
Hmm.
that's pretty big actually for chess.
So Sword, when I come live with you, whenever that is, we playing some chess and we streaming it. I
First, I had to figure out how the fuck that I'm gonna play chess, and two, first I gotta figure out my fucking life before I do that.
You don't know how to play chess?
Dude, it's been a fat minute. I haven't played since high school.
Alright, we need to like stream chess online or some shit.
I'm 100% down. I want to give chess a try. But Nate, how about you? Like, what would you want to do outside of just your regular like content that you do on your streams?
Uh, but content wise, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
content wise, it could literally be anything.
Probably cooking.
You know,
Like making like cooking YouTube videos or something.
you know what's
Yeah,
You
I
funny
know,
is
I
watch.
have
I
no
cook
clue
a
how to
lot.
cook.
I cook a lot. I watch a lot of different cooking YouTube channels. Um,
Shit, with as
and
much as my dad cooked, he can be making bank right now.
hmm
it's a little the issue is like you need like a decent amount of equipment to do like a cooking channel. Like you can't just grab like a webcam. Like I mean, I guess technically you could if you had a laptop or something, go and like set up a little webcam in there and do it low budget. I don't have a laptop, so I can't really haul my whole like desktop PC into my kitchen to
yeah,
You could
cook.
use your phone, couldn't you?
you
I guess
could.
theoretically, but
Or, like
it'd
There's
get
be a
one of
mess
those.
because like the thing is like if you're like cooking and like you have to like go and take your phone to get like a close up shot of it. Like you have to like wash your hands, get all the gunk off your hands from what you've been cooking, and
Wear
like
gloves.
you, yeah. It's just it's be a lot of effort
Just like
into it.
have a bunch of disposable gloves. Use those to cook. Take them off when you want to go grab your phone. Put it back. Just grab another pair. I mean, they're
Yeah,
like down here at least. They're like $5 for like a box of 100. So I mean, like
yeah.
Well, it just
It's just
also depends on like what exactly you're cooking too. Because if you're just like pan searing some salmon with some vegetables or something, then it's no big deal. But like,
ah man, I cook mostly Italian food, dude. I fucking make messes.
do you love, do you make pasta?
Yes,
I need to come out of wherever the fuck you live and eat some fucking pasta.
as an
dude.
Italian, I can confirm that like that's not the one thing that I would want to eat. I want to eat some like classic like beef sandwich get from like a shop.
You're Italian?
Like a Chicago style beef sandwich.
Yes,
Oh yeah. Oh, they're great.
Sword, you're Italian?
yes, I am.
I did not know this.
I'm mostly Italian. It's not
My
like
my
it's
dad's
only
side of the
really by
family.
blood. We don't really have like a
Uh,
heritage about it though. But no, yeah, the issue with like doing like a cooking like channel or cooking videos, like if you go on YouTube and you watch like even small cooking YouTube channels, dude, they put a ton of time and effort and quality into those videos, and it's
hmm
just not something I can really like. Like you can't do both gaming and cooking. Like you gotta do one or the other.
Could you imagine
That's
doing like a Destiny 2 raid while cooking?
yeah. Like let me just drop a nuke real quick while I'm fucking making some chicken parm.
Hold on, let me
Um,
just go raid the sword master while he's playing Call of Duty while I'm like making an egg sandwich real quick.
Even like the
but
basic recipes that you could like, you have to like keep an eye on that.
I would probably do it like if I did like maybe I'll do like a sub goal at some point and do like a cooking stream as like a reward or something.
The
I
only
would do
thing
I
I
would
know how to
definitely do
cook
that.
is eggs.
You
But
want to
dude, cooking's
know?
fun.
You want to know what's funny? So I said this years ago, and I told my community, I said, if I hit affiliate, there will be a redeem option of a femboy stream. So most of my community, some of them are into like the furry fandom and stuff like that, and because my icon was actually made by a commissioned furry community member, I told them if we can get to affiliate, I will put a goal for 150,000 channel points that someone can redeem in the next stream. I have to dress up like a femboy, and people have been begging me to do it. I told them like, no, we have to hit affiliate first.
You've doomed yourself. You do not understand what you have just done, Sword.
Oh, trust me, I'm aware. I know what's coming. It'd be great content though. Could you imagine?
Uh, dude,
Man, it's
there
just
is
like I know I'll be selling my dignity to the devil, but
Mm.
just imagine the content.
Yeah.
what's that guy's name? It's like
I'm gonna
Finn
go steal a
something.
muffin.
Oh,
He's
Finn.
a
Yeah, I know what you're
yeah,
talking
this
about.
streamer that literally just dresses like a woman
Mm-hmm.
and looks like why? Like, how are you that attractive as a man and a woman? It makes no sense.
Honestly, it makes me sexually confused to know that a person who is a literal cross dresser makes
Yeah,
me want to be like, why can't I find me a woman like
yeah.
that? Like,
Facts.
bruh.
I don't know. But the dude is hilarious.
Oh yeah, Finn is funny as hell.
Dude, love that content. Like, I just found him like randomly on YouTube at some point. It was like in my recommended, and just went down a rabbit hole one night watching I don't know how many videos.
That's literally sounds like me whenever I first found Puffer. Like I think this was after like Warzone came out and after the Among Us days. Like I was like, damn, Puffer is actually really fucking funny. And I actually found he got raided by Grizzy one night, and this was when like Puffer was at like I don't know like or something like that. Like I've been watching like a lot of creators like before they blew up, like Slack ATK. Like he plays with Himmy every once in a while,
Mm-hmm.
but like I've been watching him since he was like two viewer Andy, like before he hit partner.
I've
Yeah,
actually seen a lot of Twitch streamers who are like going from literally 0 views a stream. Now I'll go up onto their stream and they've got like 5,000 viewers. And I'm just like, where did the time go? It's like yesterday you were a baby, and now you're affiliate. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what happens when you network.
It's just
Mhm.
like shit. Where's my fucking plot armor? I still got like 1 viewer a stream, and I've been doing this shit for like 5, 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Networking definitely helps, but it's just a small part of it.
Yeah, it's mainly networking and having a schedule, which is basically what defines you as a content creator. Like whenever
I
I
would,
upload, it's different.
I
yeah, I
have
would
an
say,
inconsistent schedule because I'm never on.
yeah, I've had a really inconsistent schedule. I would say, probably there's a lot of important things. Yeah, like being I wouldn't say a schedule, but being consistent
Yeah.
is a better way of putting it. But there's a guy. I don't know if you guys watch him on YouTube. He used to go by Alpha Gaming, but his channel's name is like Senpai Gaming now. His name's Harris Heller. But the most profound thing I think I've ever heard him say about streaming and how to grow your stream is you do not grow your stream while you're live. So just because you're putting in, like, I have a buddy of mine has been streaming for years, and this guy will like regularly put in like 60 to 80 hours of streaming a week, and his growth is capped. Like he is at 10 viewers every day, and that's all he's been at for years.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't promote his stream through like Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Like he doesn't make videos because like the way Twitch works, like there's not that many people going around and just browsing and just scrolling to the bottom of the Twitch like boards and seeing like,
I
oh,
do.
this guy. There's a couple of people. I mean, and it happens. It's not like a super rare thing, but not that many people are doing that. Or they're scrolling
The
down.
only reason
they're
I
clicking a
did
guy that
was
has 2
because
viewers.
Mm-hmm.
the only
And
reason
like,
I used to do that is because like the big. Sorry to cut you off, Nate. I'm really sorry about that.
you're
But
good.
the big streamers and everything, I'd pop in their chat for like 2 seconds, and then like, you're an arrogant motherfucker who takes all of the shit that he has for granted. Why do I want to watch you when I can watch someone who has like 5 or 6 viewers and has a personal connection with every viewer that comes in?
Yeah.
I'd rather watch that guy.
Yeah, and there are some people like that, but the thing is, for
I mean, that's the kind of streamer I am.
every one of you, there's 500 that aren't like that. That's the thing. And at the end of the day, that's just one view. That's not that many people doing it. So like you're like, while you will get a couple of viewers every now and then doing that, it's not regular. Which is why a lot of times before you hit affiliate, you're sitting at 1 or 2 viewers the whole stream for hours. So like the best thing that you can do to grow your stream is to promote yourself on other platforms, like especially like TikTok. You can post one video on TikTok and that will hit an algorithm and you will fucking blow up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish
really,
my TikTok videos blow up.
dude, like, yeah, like it's kind of insane. Like I've had friends that have like posted a video and like just gone up and gotten like 10,000 views out of nowhere. And that's because like other platforms like TikTok and YouTube will actually like actively like recommend you stuff. Like if you go on YouTube, you have a whole recommended section. A lot of times, like a lot of the videos are bigger, channels. But like sometimes like lately since Modern Warfare 2 came out, I've been seeing guys that I have no idea who they are. I'm like looking and like they have like a couple hundred subscribers. And, like I never used to get recommended people like that, but like now I am. And so like I think like that's one of the like ways you really like start to grow your stream. Like if you notice Hemi, like dude, as soon as he started doing his partner push, he started uploading YouTube content more. He started doing his Among Us series, and that's like when his channel started really blowing up, and he got pushed to partner really quick. Because you networking definitely helps, but like being able to like find you on a different platform and like bringing that viewer base over to Twitch, I think is the bigger thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like with me as a good example. Like you were telling me a while back, and you were saying like, oh yeah, like Himmy, Dysfunction, Larry, and Helpful, like they know you, like they're like, oh, it's Swordmaster, like yo, what's up? And like for me, it's like they may know me, but I don't play with them on a regular basis. It's not like I like go out of my way every single day to go and play with these people because like just like I've been telling people for a while, it's like I may, be recognized by them, but I'm also a viewer. Like I watch their streams. I, participate in community events whenever they're brought up. Like as a good example, when I found Himmy, it was actually during like the Vanguard days. Like this was when like season 1 just came out and me and Lightning, we were playing together one day and we ran into Himmy and whoever else he was playing with during that group of games. And then like afterwards, like I came in, I said, "Yo, GG's, dude, that was fun." Like I came in, I followed, and I subbed, and like he's come into my streams every once in a while and said hi, like
yeah.
And I appreciate that. Like it really goes to show that like you don't have to be so centric on like, hey, I'm streamer man. Like I do content stuff. Like come and follow me. Like nah, you can actually like be like, yo, like, hey guys, like what's this what's so and so doing? Oh, he's doing this? Okay, cool. Let's go check him out.
I know, yeah. Like there are some people like that that are really chill. Like Hemi is one of the rare streamers that is community centered, honestly. Like and like fully community centered. Like he is like even after becoming partnered, like he still plays the community every day. I don't know anybody else that does that.
If I had a community, I would do that.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that like I think Hemi could be a lot bigger than he is, but I think he's even said it himself. He doesn't want to be any bigger, like or that much bigger, because
Yeah.
if he got to a point where he's got like 1,000 viewers, like he's not going to be able to play with people.
Yeah, like because fame comes with a price, and that's what a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah. So, and I think he just really enjoys like playing with the community and like I think that's really. I mean, he only doesn't play with the community 1 day a week, and that's when he does Among Us. And usually, he's still trying to play like COD or something before or after Among Us, try to get some
Yeah.
games in. And like he always feels really bad when he misses it.
Yeah,
That dude does not miss a day. Dude puts in work.
and that's why I respect and like him so much, is because he's an honest and straight up man. Like that's
Yeah.
what a lot of creators aren't now.
I think that's the best quality you can ask for someone to be honest and straightforward and actually put in the work. Because you'll have all these like big streamers out there. They have like 400, 500,000 views or whatever, or like they'll have 100,000 people in a stream at a time. But they didn't really work that hard to get there. They stream like once or twice a week, and they put out like 3 or 4 Discord notifications, and everybody comes flooding in because he played with Tim the Tatman one time. I mean, like then you have the people like Himmy who put in all of the work
I
and
don't
doesn't
think
have
that's
like
no.
all of
I
the
highly
views.
disagree.
You disagree. I disagree. We all disagree, and that's how a disagree works.
I mean, Hemi's been rated by Tim.
Oh, yes?
Oh, yeah.
Twice.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Twice, and people aren't coming into the stream just because Tim hosted them.
Yeah,
I mean, they get he gets a big bump that day. That's it.
it's
a lot of
like I said,
big raids really don't do anything for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like
a lot of those viewers don't stay, and a lot of those viewers leave almost immediately.
Yeah, because like I remember, I got raided by Himi one night, and I was moving over from Call of Duty to Phasmophobia. Like, I think, I think it was you, Glock, Vibrant, and everybody else. Like, y'all were just chilling, and then like as soon as like it went from like 63 to like 15 to like 4 within a span of like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and
yeah. I mean,
I mean, I don't blame them. Like, some people are interested in one type of content, and some people aren't. Like, it's just a thing.
yeah. I mean, Hemi rated me once, and I was playing like Valheim, or I just switched to Valheim. I think I was playing. Yeah, and it's not the most entertaining thing to watch at the time. Like we weren't doing much in the game. It was kind of a chill moment.
Mm-hmm.
So like
never once in my streaming career have I been rated.
Viewership dropped massively.
Well, they did.
I've been rated a few times. Some really big ones, some really small ones. I actually made affiliate playing a game called Neverwinter. Which is really cool. It's like an MMO. It's like a D&D based MMO.
Yeah.
Not a very good game, but I was having fun at the time, and like it's a super small community, and like they would just constantly like they would only raid other Neverwinter streams, and they would just keep it going, and so like that's like that became like a really like tight knit community, which was really cool. I'm still friends with a lot of those guys, even though I don't play the game anymore, and I still see them all the time. But like that's like one of the exceptions where like I would see people like stick around, but that's also because you're playing the same exact game as them. But like yeah, raids. The people at the I'll go back to what I was saying before. Like the people at the top who are high view count. I mean, there are some exceptions. Like you have the hot tub streamers that are like, you know, they're not. I would say they are putting in work. They definitely like they have a little bit of an edge up because they're chilling in a bikini in a hot tub, not doing much.
Yeah.
But they still do put in like work. And like the people that are like gaming, they put in a lot of work. You may not see it or notice the effort, but like to be that place on Twitch is a lot of effort. And there are some people that had it a little bit easier, like the people that came early into Twitch. Obviously, have been here the longest. They're gonna have the larger viewer base. You know, you have the like ninjas, and Ninja's a weird exception to the rule because that guy, fucking lightning in a bottle. Like he was already getting big, and then like he just got like carried on the wave that was Fortnite in its peak. So like, and that dude put in work. Like I don't watch Ninja, but I have so much respect for that dude.
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%.
and like fucking Tim's been streaming for forever. So like the people at the top on Twitch have been put either they're incredibly original or have something that you can't find somewhere else on Twitch, or they've been putting in work on Twitch.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I highly disagree that they're just like random people that have just come out of nowhere and just rose to the top. That doesn't really happen that often.
Yeah, I mean, like one day you could be like, you know, 1 or 2 viewers and just be, you know, kind of vibing, doing your own thing, and then the next day you're pulling like thousands of people coming in and chatting, you know, supporting you, giving you subs, money, whatever. And I mean, I don't like. I'm kind of like Himmy in a way. I don't want to be famous because then, you know, it's kind of hard for me to keep up with everybody because I only, you know, connect to somebody for so long. But then like I think Markiplier said it best. Like he had met a guy at a con who he usually kept up with every now and again. He was in the Navy, and then the next day, in another podcast, he said like, "Oh yeah, like some of the people that I used to know, like this guy, like you know, me and him used to be friends, but like it's been so hard for me to like reach out or like even see or talk to anybody because I'm so busy doing XYZ, like meetings, like doing a stream, recording videos. Like, you know, you can only be going for so long before you lose connection with everyone.
Yeah.
But, well, we've been going for a while. I don't know how long, but I wanted to give one final question.
Mm.
Where do you guys see yourselves within the next 5 years?
Ooh. Next 5 years. Don't know. Honestly, I do not know. My it all depends because I don't really so like lately my stream has not been consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main reasons is I don't want to stream something that I'm not enjoying.
Yeah.
And I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty lately and have not been enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping to get to a point where I will enjoy it, but like I'm not enjoying it. I don't want to stream if people are going to like be able to see me like actively not enjoying something and kind of being frustrated over something. It's just nobody wants to watch that. I don't want them to watch that. But
Yeah.
I'm hoping soon that like with maybe DMZ coming out that that'll be something fun to watch, or after the weapon grind's done that Search and Destroy will be fun. But like my stream is all kind of based on content. So if I don't have something to play that I am actually enjoying or I'm having a lot of fun with, then I'm not streaming. Um
Yeah.
I'm still trying to make content I'm trying to get Among Us in our Among Us group kind of in a better state. I just and so I'm trying to keep that a weekly thing on Fridays so that that way we can start getting content out of that, start getting
Yeah.
together like Among Us videos, and I'm still like actively playing games with other people on their streams. Still like I'm still there and around, so I haven't completely disappeared. Um, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to um like when I am playing with those people, I don't want to stream because they're streaming as well at the same time because I don't want to like a lot of our community is kind of split. Like they're like for example, me and Rissa, we play a lot of games together. We like especially before Modern Warfare 2 came out, we were playing stuff all together all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't want to oh, she's going live, I should go live too, because then that kind of splits our community. So
Yeah.
we have people in two different streams at the same time, and they can't possibly be completely active in both at the same time. And so I just like I kind of want to stand on my own 2 feet and not have to fully rely on that other person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but in 5 years, like if there's a game that like is really good that I'm really enjoying, or I find some other way of making content that's not gaming related that I'm actively enjoying, then I hope I'll be doing content. If not, I'll definitely still be helping make content, maybe editing or something like that. But I'll definitely be in the space. And if I'm for whatever reason not making content, then hopefully I'll be doing IT work. I'm doing like a school program right now for IT support, so hopefully that goes well. Yeah, I just started it Monday.
That's dude. I hope you get successful out of all that. And like when it comes to the whole Among Us thing, dude, like I'm down to do that every Friday because like I like to keep my stuff interesting.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying Among Us. I'm hoping like we maybe like I know we've been playing a little bit of Deceit as well. I think that's gonna kind of continue. Hopefully it's a little bit smaller of a game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm hoping to find like more games like that for like a group of people to like that are fun and kind of light and you can just easily make content out of.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like a struggle every time you play like Modern Warfare.
Yeah. What about you, Deadly? Where do you see yourself within the next 5 years?
Um, I'm hoping that I can go to college and get a degree in graphic design and get a scholarship for esports, which I figured out I could do the other day. Like literally colleges near me, like UNCW or Pitt, they will like give me a scholarship just to go play video games competitively, which is what I've been grinding for my entire life up until now. I can literally use the meme. I've trained my entire life for this in an everyday scenario.
Yeah.
It's so insane to me. Like it's sick, but it's just insane to me that there's fucking scholarships for esports. Like when I was college
Like the
age, like
amount
that
of
wasn't a
money,
thing, and that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
It's
like
just
the amount of money I would be able to make while doing the thing that I love. I would be honestly the happiest person ever. I get to play video games, make people laugh, and I get to do it all for money. I mean, like, I couldn't ask for a better scenario. Honestly, I mean, like, if I'm anywhere within 5 years, I hope it's there.
Yeah. Well, um, I completely forgot this one question, which we can make this quick. Where did y'all's like gamer tags come from, or like the names and stuff like that?
Oh boy. Oh, I have had plenty of gamer tags. One that stuck for an extremely long time, and then I changed it a couple years ago. So my original gamer tag was Captain Savage. Obviously, Savage had to be in there. It's my last name. I have to put that in there
Mm-hmm.
because it just sounds cool as fuck. But Captain Savage came from Captain Sparkles because I watched Captain Sparkles literally every single day. He was one of the main inspirations for me being a Twitch streamer, as I said earlier. So I was like, I'll take inspiration to that. I'll be Captain Savage. Then my sister met her boyfriend, whose name was Deadly Solo, and I was just like, that's cooler than what mine is. You know what? I'm taking his name, Deadly Savage. There we go. And it sounds way cooler than his anyway. So I mean,
Yeah.
call me a name thief if you want. It still sounds cool as hell. So that's where Deadly Savage came from.
Nate, how about you? Was your name based off of something IRL or what?
yeah, it's based off of the book The Great Gatsby. It's one of my favorite books of all time. The Nate Gatsby's just kind of fit in right there. So that one came up. It was before it was my gamer tag. It was just like my Instagram handle. It was just needed something kind of fun for Instagram. My original gamer tag was actually Aramu.
Hmm.
That was like the first one I can remember, which was based off, which was the name of like an instrumental song from a band called Haste the Day. So
Wasn't that the account that got banned?
yeah, that was the account that got banned on Twitch. So but yeah, that was my original one. But the Nate Gatsby was my Instagram handle back when I created my Instagram account back in like 2013 or something like that. And I've just kept it since then. It works. It's a lot of people know me like that, and it stuck.
All right. Well, if you guys would like to know where my name Swordmaster came from, I talked about it in like the last podcast, which was a few months ago. But to make it short and sweet for not only you guys but for the people who are like new to channel, the reason the Swordmaster came to be was I actually made it up, but I was mostly due to because at the time I was very interested in like the energy sword from Halo, and like I was a fucking beast with it whenever I played through the campaign. So I was just like, oh my god, like I'm the master of this. Oh shoot, the sword master, that'd be fucking sick. Plus, I was also into like Legend of Zelda and stuff like that because I used to get Game Informer magazines in the mail from GameStop. But yeah, all right, boys, that was the podcast. Thank you both so much for joining, and thank you for just taking the time out of your day to come and join me.
Yeah, of
Thank you
course.
for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you.
It was much appreciated, and I had fun myself.
Yeah, but either way, though, if you guys would like to check them out, their links are going to be provided in the description below. You go check out Nate and Deadly, their Twitches, their YouTube, and all that stuff. I'll leave them in the description. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.